That didn't work. Okay, background lock. There we go. Okay. All right. Is this thing working? Is this thing going? Looks like it is. Sweet. All right. Anyways. Let's check out what we got going on today. So Bitcoin hit new all-time highs today, in case you didn't know. I'm gonna be looking. I should probably maybe aim. No, that's not gonna work because the background is not gonna show. I have to figure that out. But looks like we got looks like it's still going too. 12.9. Where are we at now? 2100, 21,000. 21,000 even on Bitcoin. And just to think, what I was doing, what I was calling for, is I was thinking that this was going to be a turtle soup. So I drew the fib like this. Whenever it pulled up here, I sold. All right, it got down to here, and once I started pulling back a little bit, usually it just goes straight down. Whenever I saw it start pulling back a little bit, I got out, made a few bucks, and then I was glad I did, because if I would have held on, I probably had one more chance to make a few bucks, but I would have been sweating bullets. But yeah, Bitcoin new high, is still making new highs right now as we speak. Let's see what else we got. Okay, so this morning, what did I call? As far as the GU is concerned, man, I'm so mad about that call. So, and it was this one right here that I missed. I called it just under this. So I didn't post it, I don't think, but if you watch my live stream this morning, you could definitely see that I missed this entry by about 5 pips, and then I had it going, because what I did is I saw, see, it's all about knowing where to place your fib, right? How to set up your fib. If you don't know how to set up your fib as a smart money tactic, let me say this real quick so people know that I'm a smart money analyst. I am not your typical analyst. I do not do trend lines. I do not do channels. I don't do any of that stuff. Right? So what I do is levels. That's why you see lines going across my screen. And what I usually do is I will mark off the dailies, right? So this is what I did for previous days. That's why you have so many of these damn lines in here. But whenever you get into the 5 minutes, the 15 minutes, it's not that bad. You can kind of understand where they're all coming from. Some of these I can probably let go of, like these old ones here, since they've all been broken. Definitely let go of some of these. Sometimes they still come into play though, but it's not necessary to keep some of these. But for some reason, TradingView just likes to keep some of the stuff in here. I don't know how many times I've saved this with all of these TPs off of here, and it likes to keep coming back. And I don't know how. I don't know what to do to, like. I mean, I've done this, right? Save it, load chart layout, load a new chart, and then I'll come back tomorrow, and it'll be the same thing. It'll still be the same chart layout. What I can't, maybe what I can do is I can add one of my templates, and maybe that'll help it. Let's do short term. There we go. So short term, I do have some indicators in here that I like, and they have to do with off open interest off futures. So it lets you know, basically, open interest means how many contracts are currently out there for futures, if they're for puts or if they're for calls. So it kind of lets you know. It's almost like a real-time indicator, unlike RSI, where it can kind of be strength, or MACD. You kind of really don't know what's going on. These are like literally people putting in puts or calls, like at that moment. So that's what I like about this. See, right now you have this red crossing into the green. At the same time, you have the open interest stochastic crossing into the green, right? So this would honestly be, right now, you would want to trade this as a buy. But this is on the daily, right? If you're looking for it on the daily, we want to get down to something like the hourly, it might change. As you can see, well, it's still looking like it might cross over into a buy soon. This might cross over into a sell, though. So just depends on how you look at it. So that was not meant to go well. This really made me mad. I called this earlier, and I did not expect, I don't know what happened to the euro at 1 o'clock. If somebody could enlighten me as to what happened to the euro at 1 o'clock, I would love to know, because the bottom just fell out, and I was just so confused. Was there anything on Forex Factory that happened with the euro at 1? I think everything had to do. Oh, there was 0 group meetings all day today, so there must have been something that came out at 1 o'clock. Guarantee you that's what it was. Hold on, 1 p.m. USD. Oh, I didn't even think about that. The FOMC happened at 1 o'clock. Man, I wasn't even paying attention at 1 o'clock. 1 o'clock, I was actually putting together this nice little chair that I have here. So, no wonder I got knocked out. Looks like the dollar probably jumped up. So, it's actually moving really fast right now. Last night, whenever I was trying to stream, it was not wanting to stream like this at all. It was moving very, very slowly. I wasn't happy with it. Today, it's actually doing pretty good. I'm actually surprised. And if I go over to the stream here, stream health, which is not optimal. Stream bit rate. Okay, so I do have a couple warnings. Let me see if I can change them really quick. Okay, 1,000 kilobytes per second. And current resolution. Oh, I see what it is there. I don't think anybody's watching anyway, are they? Yeah, it says it's good. Alright, anyway, let's check out what was going on with the dollar. What happened with the dollar at 1 o'clock from the FOMC. Right now we're on the daily. Let me get rid of some of this stuff in here. Because, well, I got it on the daily because I was going all the way back to 2018 and marking off some pretty heavy landmark stuff here. So, as you can see, I got a couple different. Here you have a breaker, and I should probably label these, but I have them, you know, usually yellows are breakers, purples are just horizontal lines, so that's usually support resistance. This should also be a support and resistance purple dotted line. But it should also be bigger dots. Why is it? Which purple am I using? Jeez. Thought it was this one, but it doesn't look like it's that one. Hold on. Let me do something here really quick and find out which one it is. It's that one. Okay. Why does that one look so different? Oh, it's because the dots. Okay, there we go. Alright, so got some different support and resistance levels in here. Got some breakers, got some order blocks. So that way when it gets to those levels, I know to watch for reactions. Alright, so let's get down to the 1 hour here and let's see what happened at 1 o'clock. I'm guessing it was this. Nothing happened with the dollar at 1. It was at 2. What in the world? Alright, so alright, let's bring the euro next to this. 1300, 1 o'clock. Oh, I was looking at 1 o'clock in the morning, that's why. 1300. Huge spike up. 1300. Wow, I didn't even see that. Anybody catch that? If anybody caught that, made some money off that, good for you, because I lost money off that. Is what I did, because I actually had euro on the buy. I didn't even, man, because I would still be in this trade if it didn't do that. And I would definitely, you know, I think I actually posted this too. And so let me go back to, wait, what just happened? Yeah, see, I haven't posted this as an idea. I'm just gonna say, I hope you re-entered after being knocked out. And then I will put, this is like it came up, so we got TP1, we're about to get TP2. If I was still in it, that is, but I'm not in it anymore, so it doesn't really matter. But I will go ahead and throw this in here anyway. Alright, let's go back to GU. So GU definitely had a bullish bias today, which I called from the very beginning of earlier this morning. If you were watching me around probably around 11 o'clock at night, maybe in midnight or so. I actually had a call on this one too, and I even have it on my channel right now as to how I called it and how I failed at calling it, because it was somewhere around in here. Yep. The price was right around in this area here. And I was looking at it and I was looking, and I was thinking, you know what, it's gonna do a pullback before the session starts, and it's gonna go up. I saw, it kept breaking highs. We broke this high, and then we broke this high. So we'd broken a couple highs in a row. So my thoughts were, all right, so we're probably gonna break another high. Here we come back, we had rebalanced. Here we had come back and we had rebalanced, and this one was going up, so I knew we had to come back and rebalance. So what I did is I threw the fib up here, right, from this point, and at that time it was to here. And then I got to looking at it a little bit closer, right, and maybe it was this one. It was this one, because this was the last. So it was the last move before you have a really sharp move. That's where I usually like to do my Fibonacci's from. Because usually, I mean, yeah, you can do it from like a low point, but as you can see, this kind of came in for like a smooth landing and then went up. I always try to find something with a little bit more, like with a spike, right, or something that kind of has some kind of very dramatic move. That's the word I'm looking for, dramatic. Find something that has a dramatic move, and then you put the Fibonacci at the bottom of that one, and generally what you'll see is it retrace back down into generally about the 71 level. Yeah, I guess you could have done it this way, right, and then it would have came to the 61.8 level or whatever it was, and that's perfectly fine too. But I like this way, because this way you have less of a stop loss, because I put my stop losses just below the 100, just below the bottom level, right? So that would have been about an extra 6 pips or something like that if I would have lost the trade, and that could, so sometimes 6 pips can make or break people, so that's why I like using this method here. Again, came back in, and what I did is I aimed for the 80, and the reason I aimed for the 80 is because I had this horizontal ray right here. I'm just going to delete this one right here. So this is where I put my entry at, right, and I missed it. And I was looking at something else whenever it finally happened, and I was so mad that I missed it. And like I said, this is how very, very close and intricate and interesting smart money is that if we get down to the nit grit of it, and we get to, where is it, about 1 o'clock in the morning or so, it was this candle here, like I said, in the last candle before you make a dramatic move. There it is. There's that last down candle before we made the dramatic move up. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. Didn't mean to do that either. I just meant to do a horizontal ray with this, right? So I'm going to remove this one now, where my old one was. If we go straight across, it runs right into that candle. Let me see if it goes. I don't even think it goes below it either. I think it goes right into it. Nope. Almost right smack dab in the middle. So that's literally how close it was, right smack dab in the middle. Look at that. So it was that candle, that small candle, that 1 minute candle was 4 pips, and there's a 2 pip difference on each side of where it entered. So there's that 50%. So generally, whenever, and that's like a rule, you know, whenever you're hitting order blocks, generally you don't want it to go any farther than 50% of the order block. If it does go farther than 50% of the order block, more than likely it's going to trade through the order block. Just a rule. So it hits this, and it continues on, and I had my goal set for, I think it was right here, the 162, and of course it hit it, but I wasn't even in the trade. And then of course later on it even goes up even more. So now where are we at with the GU at the end of the day? So we made, and I'm on the 1 minute. I should probably back off the 1 minute and take a look at the 15-minute instead. So we had the daily bias. We had that huge rally, came back down almost to the exact same spot, right? So it came down almost to the exact same spot, and then another rally back up. Now it's starting to come back down. It's 4 o'clock now, so the day has just officially started over. It is now into, well, I guess right now the broker spreads are going crazy, so you probably see a lot of movement in some of these. Australia is just now starting their day. So what I would expect to see from GU from the rest of this is that here we do have this breaker here, right? So you have a high, a low, then a higher high. So this running across here, as you can see, it came up into this breaker and it traded downwards, came back down to these order blocks, so it rebalanced again, right? Now it's coming up hitting this breaker again. I am going to, well, here's the thing, is that you have these 3 candles right here, right? These 3 red candles. Right. None of them wick outside of each other, right? You don't see this one wick way up here or anything like that. So this would technically be considered one candle, to be honest. It was one bearish order block. So now that it's reached above the order block, it hits and goes into this breaker, comes down, hits this order block. And right now it's stuck in a rut. I wouldn't know what to do as far as trading this is concerned. Just because they're both solid moves. You have this solid one, you have this solid breaker coming down, you have this solid order block. So these are just 2 big solid moves. I would expect it to probably, this will probably be the range, right? This I'm gonna expect to be the Asian range, to be honest. I'm gonna say from here to here, and I'm actually gonna make these solid lines. And yeah, let's go with the yellowish. Let's go with the bright yellow. Why not? Go with the bright yellow. Go solid, right? I'm gonna get rid of this Fibonacci. I'm gonna say this is probably gonna be the Asian range. Why? Because we've already came down, we've tested the, well, I guess what we could do, right, is that since we don't want it to get any further than halfway through this order block, and that's what this is, right? So now you have, we get rid of some of these other lines as well now that we don't need them. And do a horizontal line here. Well, not really. Alright, you don't want it to go up below that. And then you have this one here. So let's draw the fib from here to here. 50%. Did not mean for that to happen. There we go, wrong button. Alright, so now you have what we project to be our agent range, and then what it shouldn't jump out of. Now I'm gonna say whichever one crosses, right, this, like if this one goes down here and crosses this below this first, our daily bias is going to be for tomorrow. Right, we're probably going to see a sell-off of a daily bias for the GU. All right, that can also depend on the DXY. What we're looking at for the DXY, well, we're getting down to like we're getting down into some really good. That's what I'm looking for. Some territory to where it doesn't want to move down any further. Starts with the C. Can't think of the word right now. Man, I'm so brain dead. I've had 2 hours of sleep, guys. So. Bear with me here. It looks like we could see, especially with the FOMC, depending on what kind of meeting notes, economic projections that we have. Federal funds rate didn't change, of course. FOMC press conference. So looks like what's coming up next is the odd unemployment change. So what I would expect right now is, now that we're done with checking out the pound, I'm going to expect the pound to honestly be more of a daily bias that's going to be going downward. I think the dollar is going to start moving upwards now, and now we're going to start seeing the foreign, especially now since it's broken some highs and whatnot, coming back down. I'm going to expect the foreign currency to start going downwards, but I could be completely wrong, right? Could be completely wrong. So let me go ahead and save that one. Let's hope that actually saves. Let me hit load chart layout, and then I already talked about Bitcoin for a second. Let's talk about the euro now. Like I said, I called this one. Unfortunately, it didn't go the way I wanted it to because of that 1 hour debacle that we had. Right now I'm in the 5 minute, I'm in the 15 minute. So I had the different take profits even labeled. And it looks like it almost got to take profit too. Like I said, right now it could be, it's shooting up again. Something's happening with the dollar. There must be something going on with these meetings right now. Oh, well, it is 4 o'clock too, so the the spreads and everything, since the spreads are going all crazy, people are still putting in limits and stuff like that, and it's hitting those limits, and it's causing the prices to kind of go crazy, and it'll do that until about 4:30, 4:45 or so. So I don't know. We'll see. I would expect this to at least get to take profit 2. And then we'll see if it gets to take profit 3. And then, like I said, always leave a trailer on. If it doesn't reach this high, though, it's possibly not likely to. Then again, we could start seeing that slide off of the euro, and then start seeing a little bit of a daily, the daily bias for the euro tomorrow to be on the sell side versus the buy side like it was last night or today. I don't know why it keeps moving around. Okay, because I think whenever it looks like it was kind of, let's see here, that was yesterday morning. This was last night. Oh yeah, I remember this. Because I was, I bought when it was right around here. I bought somewhere in here. Hold on, let me get into the 15 minutes of this, because this one also had a very similar had a really odd take to it. So I think it was this one that I did. So I drew the fib from this one here, since this is my last really down push candle up to here. Again, I was expecting it to come back down, but I think I had bought somewhere in here along the way, anticipating it even to come back down. Came back up here, and then it fell, and then I think it was right around that same time, I think I was watching gold or something like that, and then this one just took off. And I actually had money in GU at this time. I think I had money in this one too, but I think the money that I had in it was higher. I think I had put money a little bit too early. And I didn't expect it to get all the way up here, so I took my profits out a little bit too early. I want to say at these lines here, I forgot what it was yet. Right here at these highs is where I took my profits, because I didn't expect them to get much higher than that, because that was just above the 100. So I made a little bit off that, but I should have held on a lot longer, because then we had this, and then that's about the time when I was getting ready to go to bed, was somewhere around in here, and then that's when I threw this fib on, and I thought once it got back to around here, that would be a good spot to buy. And then it would have been, it would have been a good spot to buy if I would have just waited until after 1:30 or so. 1:45 would have been the perfect time to buy, or right at 1:30 would have been the perfect time to buy. So again, I think with the FOMC, even though we did see this push up, I think that was just it rebalancing. I think we're going to see more of a slide off on the EU tomorrow. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and load this one up too. The way I have this chart analyzed. Of course, we'll have to keep an eye on what's going on with the dollar. Already talked about Bitcoin a bit. Ethereum did the same thing, I want to say. So I don't use ETH USD or BTC USD. I use ETH perp and XRP perp, if you are a trader of CFDs, so if you use MetaTrader for crypto, if you're there's people that invest in crypto. Cool if you are, I'm just not one of those people. I'm not one of those people that puts money in crypto like I do stocks. Like, I have money in stocks all over the place. I don't have money in crypto. I just got a notification from Coinbase. Just let me know how much Bitcoin is up. Interesting. But I use the ETH PERP because these prices are actually closer to, even though they look close, there's a little bit difference in how they move. So let's say we did BTC perp, right? So I'm going to use this as an example because I can show you exactly what I'm talking about. So in BTC perp, right, you had whenever it did this pullback, it kind of did this. In BTC USD, I feel like the pullback was a little bit different for some reason. Hold on, let me see here. Oops, not disjointed. Maybe it wasn't. I don't know. But as you can see, there is a little bit of a difference in price between BTC USD and BTC perp. It's about $20 or so, $16-20 difference. Perp tends to not be as fluctuating as the BTC USD does, I feel like. And maybe that just has to do with the trading nature of it. I'm not 100% sure. And as you can see, ETH perp also a little bit different than ETH USD. XRP perp also a little bit different than XRP. Not too much of a difference actually at all between XRP, but there is a little bit of one. As you can see, the XRP USD is fluctuating a lot more rapidly than the XRP perp. So again, that's why I have these three up at the top. If I'm going to trade those are the ones I use. And it looks like they all three have the same shape, right? So it looks like any of these, right? So let's do short-term money, and let's do a different setting, not off futures, off others. Even though I don't know why we can't pull the futures contracts off of these, but we still get similar data. So these, I have a feeling, are getting to be oversold. We'll be getting oversold very soon. Whenever they do get to be oversold, and I'm still going to be wary about this because I did this with the BTC perp. I didn't do it with ETH. Was the turtle soup. So when it goes down, right, comes back up, hits the 75%. Or 70.5%, I should say. I usually wait till it does that, like this. Well, this one was a 60 point, about 618, 62, whatever. Then I'll sell from there, and usually I'll just watch it go down. Every once in a while, you'll see some slips, but whenever I see this one start moving its way back up, then I'll jump out, right? And then I'll wait to see if it's actually going to go up, and of course this one did. So interesting stuff here with Ripple, Bitcoin, and Ethereum. I don't think we had anything like that in any of the other. I mean, it looks like we did have some. I don't know. Has Dash reached $100 before? That seemed interesting to me. Yeah, it looks like it has. Never mind. What am I talking about? Not too long ago either. Reached all the way to 123. Neo still chilling, not really doing much. Don't know if we trade Neo or not, but if we do trade Neo, it can be, especially if you find a good setup. You throw a lot of lots on it, and you just watch it ride and get out as soon as you can. That's the way I play Neo. Anyways, that's it for crypto. One thing I think I want to go over that I didn't go over was the indices. So I watched the Dow and I watched the SPX. I called earlier earlier as soon as they opened. I thought they were going to be bullish today. Sure enough, they were. As you can see, this is probably the opening. Yep. So that's why I still have these here. And I had these marked off. So you can see the purple lines I had marked off. Because I had a feeling that that's where it was going to go to. If it was going to get to this low, it was going to buy. Or if it was going to get to this low, it was going to buy. So it got to these lows. So I got a couple scalps in on NASDAQ and S&P both. I don't like holding indices for some reason. They can just turn on you in an instant. So usually whenever I find something that works with an indice, especially when it comes to getting a scalp, don't mind putting a good scalp trade in really quick and then getting out of there as soon as I can. So came down, looks like it came back up. Looks like we had the bearish order block here. Looks like it hit that first, came back. Then we had a bullish order block, it hit, came back up, hit the bearish order block, back to the bullish order block. So it bounced back between those two. And then, let's see here. It looks like it was just trying to rebalance on these. And this was definitely a rebalance here. Coming back down to the top of this candle here. I don't even know, that would have been a continuous. Yeah, that would have been a continuous order block right there. And it didn't get down past 50%. So that's why it stayed up above here for so long. So you had these three candles that went down right here, right? And right after that, the push up. So these three candles here, your order block. Once it enters, once it leaves the order block, it enters back into it. More than likely, you're going to see a rejection. You shouldn't see it get any more than halfway through, right? And we didn't. So that's why these three candles held. Right, so now we're at the end of the day. Looks like same thing happened here. But, well, this was kind of odd. We have a down candle. Looks like it repriced back up and then down really quickly. So between this minute and this minute, let me look at that on the 1 minute for some reason. That does not look right. Oh, that was right, the FOMC stuff. Gotcha. So repriced. So look at that. So that's one of the reasons why I drew this line right here. You had all those the equal highs. I knew it was going to break them. I didn't expect this to break it. I thought, you know, it would go lower and then come up and break it. Whenever you see equal highs like that, definitely expect it to be broken. So then, let's see here. Let's get off the 1 minute here. Let's get, not the 30. Let's get back to the 5. Sorry, I'm a 5-minute chart reader here. Now, the thing with NASDAQ is that it hasn't fully rebalanced yet. We have a good gap opening right through here that I am probably going to expect to see get filled over the Asian session. So let's do that. So you kind of have a gap here that I'm going to expect the NASDAQ to kind of probably pull down probably right into about this region here, to be honest. So I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do a solid line. And the reason I think that area there, you can see where it's kind of well, almost like a support resistance line. You have all the bodies on this side right here, right? It couldn't get past, comes up, and then you have the bodies on this side, goes below, right, then comes back up. So I feel like this is a balancing point. So I feel like once it comes back down, it should get somewhere around this area, and then we will have to see if we're going to have a bullish or bearish day tomorrow. But I think we did reach an all-time high today, if I'm not mistaken, with the NASDAQ again. Let me do some dotted lines here, and just to be sure, let me hit the daily. I need to get rid of horizontal lines here. Looks like it. Going back to, yeah. Damn it. Keep on hitting the space bar. So yeah, looks like we hit a record high today again with the NASDAQ. We have a little gap to fill, and then we'll see if it's going to continue on being bullish or bearish. One way to tell really quickly is, instead of Forex Factory, what we can do is we can go to barchart.com. Sorry, I haven't even been checking to see if you guys are checking anything out yet or not. You got nobody saying anything, that's okay. If you guys are out there, what's up? Barchart.com. And then select commodity. Let's go to NASDAQ mini futures. Let's go to December contract. Let's check out options. Let's see what we got people doing. Instead of near the money, instead of stacked, let's go side by side. All right, let's see how many puts, calls. So we got a lot of people thinking it is going to get higher. Everybody's thinking it's going to get higher. I don't see. Look at this. We got one put here for 12,600. he must be banking that it's going to get down to 12,600 and below and be able to get rid of that contract and make some money, which is interesting. So because there's 203 open interests on that one contract. See, this is what this kind of stuff is what grabs me. So this what makes me want to dig into NASDAQ right now. Where was it? There it is. So 12,600, right? That's what that person had, 12,600. Just double check to be sure. I'm gonna throw it right next to the chart. 12,600. We got to put a 12,600. There it is, right there. Let's make this a bright blue line. Make it even thicker. And let's actually do dashes. And text. How many puts? 203 open interest puts. So 203 open interest puts. Strike price near the money. Let's do show all. I mean, because we're at like what? What just happened here? 9,000. No, opposite way. Hold on. Let's do something different here. So doing, well, site's freezing up, mommy. Let's go stacked instead. Jeez, alright, I get it. There's a lot of call and put options out there. Right here is near the money, right? And there are some, well, okay, here's the put option, 12,760. Well, that's not applicable, okay. Here we got 65 calls at 1277. Where are we at right now? Okay, so the highest was 12,716. $90 calls, 12,780. We got 52 calls at 12,890. $216 calls at 12,900. So we get some more interesting numbers here. We have almost 1,000 calls at 13,000. Now keep in mind this is for the month of December. So we got some people of varying degrees about what is going to happen with the euro, but the most interesting is that we have a lot of puts going down here. I wonder where they got that information from, or what makes them think that we're gonna get below that for so much of an amount that it's gonna be worth how much money they spent in a premium in hopes that they get below that. So we shall see. Last but not least, let's check out the S&P. S&P I thought was going to be a bullish one again. I think it started, yep, right around here. I honestly thought, see this yellow line here, 3694, that's where I thought it was gonna buy from. So I did buy there. Had to hold on tight for a little bit because the way I did this was, let's see here. Yep. So that was just above the 7.5, I think. Hold on. Let me get rid of some of these. I think I got two going on at the same time here. So, the way I did this one was, this was the big displacement going up to here, right? So, right around that 70.5 was this level here. So that's where I put it at. It was at 3694. But luckily I had my stop loss just below here where this purple line was, so I didn't get my stop loss hit. Held on to it and got rid of it. I want to say right here where I saw, because I was looking at the price action and I saw this displacement. Right, so when it came down, hits this, went up. This I saw as a breaker, so I sold, or I actually took my profit there and left. Could have held on to it and probably caused myself a little bit more stress, but also got a little bit more money out of it. But I think I got it at a decent time. It's very early. It was 9:30 in the morning, and I called it a day on that one. And the bad thing is that it wasn't like it was a whole lot, just because of where I actually entered the trade at. But still, it was still a decent amount from, let me see here, 3694 to 3701. Yeah, about 7 ticks. I think it was, yeah, something like that. So I can't complain with 7 ticks, especially with as many lots as I had on it. I'll take it every day. USD CAD. This one might be going up tomorrow, just because of the way the dollar has been acting. So, and it looks like it hasn't rebalanced. Well, it kind of rebalanced, but it hasn't done a full rebalancing just yet. So here we have